Hi, this is Brett with Piano Aha, and today we want to talk about sharps and flats at the piano. So you've probably seen something like this, a note with a flat in front of it, or a note with a sharp in front of it. And we want to talk about what to do about that when you're playing the piano. So if you see a note with a sharp in front of it, that would mean you just have to play one note higher on the piano, or one key higher. And if you see a flat, you just play one key lower. At the piano, that looks like this. Let's say we have the note D, and we have a sharp in front of it. Then that would mean we would have to go one note higher. In other words, at the piano, one note to the right, and we would play a D sharp. It would be called a D sharp. If we have a D, and we have a flat in front of it, we would just go one note down, that is one key to the left, and say that would be called a D flat. We'll take another example. Let's say we had the note G. A G with the sharp would be a G sharp, and a G with a flat would be a G flat. Let's take another example. How about our favorite note, C? If we have a C with a sharp, it would be this key, which would be called C sharp. And if we have a C with a flat, it would be called a C flat. Now you might think to yourself, I thought that note was called B. Why is it called a C flat? And the simple answer to that is, all of these keys have more than one name. So I can refer to this key as being a B or as being a C flat. Just as I can refer to someone named Jack Smith as Jack or Mr. Smith. Let's take another example. Let's say I wanted to do something crazy. Let's say I want to start here and I want to add a sharp. No, let's say I want to add 3 sharps to this note. Then I would just write my 3 sharps in front of the note and say that would be an F with 1 sharp, that would be an F with 2 sharps, that would be an F with 3 sharps. So you could theoretically say I'm going to have a note that's, let's say it has 5 flats. So I'm going to take this note, I'm going to write 5 little flats in front of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be called a D with 5 flats. But you can forget about that. I just wanted to mention it so that you understand that it's actually a simple system, that every time you add a flat, it goes in that direction. Every time you add a sharp, it goes in this direction. Be that as it may, double sharps and double flats do happen in real music. Let's look at an example. So if I wanted to have a note lowered twice, I would simply have a note with 2 flats in front of it. That makes sense. As we saw, that doesn't present a problem. You just go down twice. Now, guess what you write if you want to have a double sharp? This here. Huh? Doesn't that seem strange? Why would you write an X? Why wouldn't you just write 2 sharps, right? That would seem to be the logical thing to do, right? Given that we write 2 flats if we want 2 flats. Strangely enough, you write an X if you want a double sharp. Now you could ask yourself, why we write an X? Why don't we write a Q or a baby elephant? Like, why do we pick this thing to stand for 2 sharps? And the answer is, I don't know, and it is a very silly thing. Music is unfortunately full of such things, or music notation, I should say, is full of things that have to do with history and the way things came about to be, and it doesn't necessarily make sense. We have the same thing in language. For example, look at the word high. Why do we write high with a GH, right? High, gh. We don't say that. What are these 2 letters doing? Well, probably a long time ago those words were pronounced, or those letters were pronounced, and that just sort of stuck around, and we still have it today. Like I said, music is full of these things. You just have to get used to the fact that you write a double sharp this way. Be that as it may, double sharps and double flats don't happen that often. triple sharps, quadruple sharps, quintuple flats, etc., they don't happen at all. The important thing to remember is the principle of being raised or being lowered. So a sharp raises a note one key, and a flat lowers a note one key. Or if you're at the piano, a sharp moves a note over to the right, and a flat moves a note one key over to the left. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another video.